do a couple meditations tonight. I'll explain them as they come up. We typically in this have offering 2 new meditations. The second one tonight is going to be kind of a healing meditation, but opening up to the soul. We'll explain that. Where most of us spend the greatest amount of time with our soul is till you really build a relationship with it and have the soul starting to take the forefront instead of the personality, is actually during sleep time. Because during sleep time is when you have the opportunity to let the physical body rest so that the soul can go out there and gather the resources it needs or do the work that it's supposed to do. And then certain things are brought back in. If you can understand that, for any of you that have sleeping issues, you can start to pinpoint what's going on, of where the breakdown is happening between your body, your personality, and your soul as you look to bring those into alignment. So what I'm going to try to do tonight, I'm going to walk us through this meditation. It's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to walk us through picturing you're at the end of your night laying in bed. Take us into a little bit of sleep, and then we're going to picture getting up in the morning and doing our first routine. So a routine right before you go to sleep and a routine right when you get up. So positioning you to get the most out of your night's sleep so you can be excited about the journey that your soul is about to take while your body rests. And then once you wake back up, then you can set yourself up for the journey that your physical body's about to take in the day. Do you see? So I wrote down some things. Some of these things I want to personally thank Edgar Casey for helping bring some of these things through. So in your routine at night, want you to, we'll go through a couple quick steps of breath work, and then the rest of it I want you to be laying down, however you lay, with your hands over your chest and your heart. You can do it this way or you can do it this way, whatever way is comfortable. And then we're going to have a couple prayers. There's going to be 3 points to the prayer. And then we're going to have 1 affirmation to send you into the sleep world. The idea in the 3 steps you're doing for your prayer, basically first you're aligning, so this is the form side, so you're basically setting the vibration between you and divinity. The second thing you're doing is you're attuning to loving consciousness. You can call it that, or you can call it Christ consciousness. When I say Christ consciousness, I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the loving energy that's helped bring things through to us. From spirit down to our form, it's being connected by the loving soul. Soul's trying to help us learn and grow. Fulfills its whole mission, and then eventually gets out of the way to where it's just the personality and spirit aligning then. It's not a way that it's typically taught. I'm just telling you my understandings. The third thing that you're going to do, so we had the alignment between you and divinity, we had the attunement with you and Christ consciousness, and the third thing is going to be setting the prayer for the journey of your soul. Okay? So you're basically covering it from all angles. That second one of the Christ consciousness is really important because it kind of protects you as your soul is going out there journeying, because the soul is still gathering information as the middleman. And so it's keeping that soul in the white light. So it's not distracted, it's going towards the things that can help you the most. For this discussion, basically the soul, I'm letting you know, is going out to 3 different places, depending on what's needed for you. In the lower planes, it's basically connecting with your subconscious to see what kind of past accumulations or other things, or gathering all your intentions or attentions to work on that. The second one is going to a plane for you to pick up new qualities. So in that plane, for instance, you might go to the influence of Mercury and learn communication skills or new ways of thinking. You might go to the influence and teachings of Venus to learn ways of love and beauty. And when I say these things, I'm not saying these things, I'm saying these things literally. Literally, you can, if you're doing the work to release certain things, your soul's going to be picking up new things to put on your tool belt. So for instance, in the last 2 weeks or so, I've been mostly being guided going out to Venus and Jupiter and getting in certain new perspectives in my outlook. And over the last 2 weeks, I basically just keep saying life is very easy. It's very simple. It's just, there is really no challenges in my life. You might go to Saturn and be learning disciplines as a quality to come in, or working through some karmas. You might go to Mars and you might be getting some ways to learn some skills on being assertive. And then basically the third way, the third plane is basically bringing things in straight from divinity to where you're aligning. So it's depending on basically your soul's trying to be your support system and see what you need. So it's really important if you can set up this framework before you go to sleep. It's not just important, it's exciting. You can really, you can go to bed like, man, I'm going on another vacation. Think about it. What kind of vacation would really suit you? It's probably either one where you're really relaxed or one where it's really exciting and you're learning new things and you're experiencing new things. Literally every night's sleep, those things are happening. Your body's getting the rest it needs, if it's aligned, and your soul's getting the journeys and having exciting things to report back. Most of the times, the way it's reporting back is in a edited down version where it's coming in symbolically. But it can happen all kinds of ways. Okay, so another way that I'm just giving you an example, so I'm playing, just trying to see if I'm normally not allowed to share these things, but another way recently will be where I'm being woken up and I'm reading books and it's giving me the books word for word and I'm reading it, so it's having me follow every line word for word, literally reading every word. So it can be as vague or it can be very specific. So I just want to put it out there to you that within that potential, the potential of divinity, which is limitless in consciousness. The soul's bringing it through to the probabilities that are most likely to be lovingly needed to answer to the forms that you're creating. Okay? When you lay down, try to make sure that when you're saying these things, that you're focusing both on an ingredient of faith and also of intention. So as you say these things, really have the beginnings of the head and the heart coming through. So it can actually have some substance to it. Okay? Is everyone ready? So visualize yourself for a moment. Well, in a moment, you can visualize yourself laying down. You can put your hand over your heart, but we're going to take just a couple breaths in and out. The breath in. See yourself surrendering to divine light. The breath out, releasing negativity, material attachments. Take a few breaths. Just in and out. Just allowing your energy fields to stabilize and come into balance with your breaths. Letting go of some of the negative, the denseness, and breathing in some of the positive. Preparing yourself. Creating your ritual. Building your altar. Envision yourself laying down. You can either imagine, envision, or actually do it, putting your hands up to your heart. Whatever you like. I'm going to read through the prayer. You can say it to yourself if you like. Remembering the faith and the intention, the power of the faith, the direction of the co-creative intention. Father, as I prepare for sleep, I align myself completely under your care and guidance. I surround and attune myself with the pure white light of Christ consciousness. As you're doing this part, envision yourself in a cocoon. As my soul journeys during sleep, may it be guided to places of learning and love. I invite my guides, my guardian angels, to accompany me on this journey as my body rests. Then to the affirmation, I trust that my soul will return to my body refreshed and renewed, bringing with it the wisdom and understanding that will serve my highest good. Feel yourself resting in the time and space of your soul purpose. Doing exactly as you've been designed. The physical body will slowly be moving into deeper states. And based on the fuel of that faithful intention, your soul is empowered to do the work. And then as you waken in the morning, starting to breathe in the light of Christ consciousness. And so what you will do upon awakening, before you even get up, is allowing yourself to attune to this energy. And so you'll start to feel the loving light from within, and then expand it out to the loving light in your household. No matter what you think of or where you expand to, loving light. As pure as you can get towards that, without judgment, loving light expanding, going out to your communities, to your workplaces, whatever it is. You keep expanding the loving light. Until you get to a point where you can feel the loving light all over the world. Then bringing it back in to your heart center. Giving yourself a moment of forgiveness to you and to any others. Whether it be a person, a thing, an event, doesn't matter. Pure forgiveness. Then stepping into, again, your whatever you want to use as a short prayer for faithful service. Next, an intention set for the day. Surrendering your light to be guided in alignment with divinity. And then as you get out of the bed, see how many acts of kindness you can do. So whatever or whoever you encounter, see how long you can keep that up. If you catch yourself slipping, then give yourself the act of kindness. Okay, as you're ready, bring yourself back to the circle here. Does anyone have anything to add or anything that's worked for you?
How mantras play into centering your energy and casting your intention.
For me, anything can be used for aligning your energy. And so mantras are just a tool. It can come from any which way. The main thing you want to do is basically we don't realize this very often, but we're basically always creating forms. And there's always a dance between the forms, depending on what we're radiating out and creating new forms. And the idea on that form path is, at first, you're learning all of your lessons. You're learning who you fully are. So in that form path, what you're trying to do is get to the most authentic version of you that there is. Okay? So that eventually, and I don't mean in this lifetime, but eventually to where that can be fully surrendered into divinity. That's how deep it would go. But the idea in the forms is all of the forms that are inside of you or that you're creating in your sphere are being answered lovingly through the soul's consciousness. So things are being brought to you. What lessons do you need? What karmas to work on? What people can come into your life that you could help or that need help or whatever it may be, depending on your intention and your attention, right? And so the idea is that consciousness is infinite in all of its experiences. And out of that infinity, the soul is helping to bring in probabilities around what you might need. And then based on what you're doing, then those things come into your reality. And so that's why it's really important to learn how to not attach to those types of things, those experiences that you're encountering, stuff like that. So that way you can work through them, you can learn what you need to, and then you can radiate and charge up and bring in new types of forms. Do you see? So based on however efficient you are at doing that, the quicker you're evolving. There is no race, you get to choose the pace. That's the beauty of it. I'm just telling you the formulas as I understand them. And so mantras are one way. You really want to be as best you can. The more you love yourself, the more you're really going to be selective in your field of influences that you bring around you. Right? So picture yourself as this bright candle. Or, no, let's do it this way. Let's do it as, let's just have you standing out before the sun. I'll do it that way. So most people want to turn around and they want to focus on their past. And so they're always working in the shadows. So that's where they attach to, because it feels so real. That can really stimulate and stir you up. But all of that denseness is really important, but it's not you. And if you can turn around the other way and see the light and see it in a positive form instead of a negative. Negative doesn't mean bad, it's just dense. It's a little bit easier to work through things because you're doing it as a neutral observer. But you can do that too with the people that you choose into your life. Are you choosing people around you that are going to help you grow in the light, or people that keep dragging you into the darkness? Do you keep going around offering to help people, but whenever they make commitments to you, they don't live up to their commitments? Do you see? You gotta be real and authentic to give everyone a chance. So as truthful as you can be with everyone else around about who you are and what you need, what you're willing to accept in your life, what you're not, the easier life gets. The less you're worried about how others are going to judge you or react to you. Do you see? As long as you're looking for the reactions, you're in a control mindset, and it's going to drive you nuts because you're trying to control things outside of you instead of the things inside of you, and how you then can react to things or not. Do you see? And so the important thing isn't the things you choose, it's just the energy influencers. You see, because they're helping support the forms that you're building. Thank you for sharing. Who else would like to share? Feel free. So maybe 2 months ago, Catherine asked me about sleep. And so I just shared with her what came up for me, which basically, unless I'm choosing not to, there's probably a handful of times in the year where I don't fall asleep within 2 minutes of laying my head down. 5 minutes, whatever it is. And it's because whatever happened during the day, I'm no longer attached to it. Somehow I just totally turn off all that stuff because it's not me. Do Do you see? And so one of the examples, I think I shared this once before, so I'll try to, it's kind of a confusing one, but it's how I tried to explain it. Oftentimes when I'm not directly talking with somebody, but something comes up that I'm supposed to be talking with them, one of two things happens. Either I'm talking directly with their personality, they're not there, but their personality is, and we play scripts, and it's like a robot. It's all automated, and it feels very mechanical. And then other times, when I'm going and I'm talking with somebody, it's the exact opposite. It's fully loving, and it's not predictable. It's their soul. Do you see? So that's what's to realize, is that your soul is going back to the true reality in the sleep world, hitting different dimensions or planes, however you want to look at it. And this is just having certain experiences, so you're choosing the avatar to step into. Do you see? The personality choices, the characteristics, the assets, the deficits, all those kinds of things. It's very important, because obviously your soul chose it, right? But what I'm saying is, realize who you truly are and honor all of those things. So as you're going through life, realize at all times there's you, the person, having the experiences, feeling the things, perceiving, limiting, and then there's the soul that's out here seeing the big picture, and then behind it is the spirit, the oneness of it all. And at all times, all three of those things are present for you. You're never alone. Do you see? So that was my logical way of trying to figure out, how do I fall asleep so quickly? That came up. Maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. Anyone else? We're uniquely blessed, actually, as a country, for what we represent, the potential of what we represent. What we represent, the chakra of the earth, we have incarnated as beings into the United States of America for a very specific reason within our souls. This country represents spiritual independence. We kind of take it for granted because it's what we live in, but there is so many places around the country where you are not allowed to find your relation with your God in your own way. You are forced to follow, thank you, certain religions and dogmas. Many places have no idea what it's like to even have these spiritual questions. So we are, in effect, a lighthouse of people being able to step into the Aquarian age. So we're at the power center. Many other places have some really strong traditional connections, but many of those places are under the last age of devotion, to where everyone just follows what their leader says. And it works, but it's limiting. So as we step into that power, both individually and as the collective, there's choices that are made about how do you want to use that power. It's very easy when you're young, like we are as a country, to be materialistic in those powers. Do you see? The idea is You have to make a choice between just building deeper into your forms or opening up for spiritual evolution. As you're opening up, if you choose to follow in the lines of service, it can be very tricky to where you start thinking you got to tell everybody else how to wake up or how to behave or how to act. It's a trap. You need to be careful of that because you're accidentally becoming just like the thing that you're trying to fight. Within these communities, it's really important because coming together is the way that Christ's consciousness energy grows and expands. It's not individually. It's expansive. Do you see? If you picture yourself picking up an instrument and playing a note, and then 10 other people coming around and playing that note, you start to get maybe a harmony. I don't know if I'm using the right terms, but to me, this is how it works. The idea in this density, the learning is going from conflict to harmony. But conflict, the idea is the harmony that you find isn't singular. It's a conflict that's helping you break through these things and expanding out and getting closer towards group consciousness. And so when we come together, as you were saying, what we're doing is we have the potential to really expand that energy. And that's why meditations and light can be so much brighter in groups. But it's not just the meditation, like I'm guiding a meditation. It's also the shares, the experiences, the differences. Because the other thing that we're teaching is diversity. Diversity in opinions, diversity in paths, diversity in choosing religions or not choosing religions, choosing God or not choosing God. Being open to all of those things. Do you see? That's the power. From the individual, then expanding out, getting closer to what's behind all things, whether it's a mantra or a book or a teacher or a fire, a person, behind everything is a loving soul that's guiding it. Do you see? And that soul is just trying to help build the bridge between your individual personality and divinity as you start learning the ways and decide how do you want to approach those things. So in this last meditation tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to have a visualization. Don't worry if you're not following the visualization. Also, don't worry if you're not following my words. Feel free to follow as much or as little as you like. Go off on your own. But basically, we're going to take you through a way of looking at that connection between spirit, coming in closer to the soul, filling things back into our forms so we can have certain experiences and lessons, and doing a healing in the process. Sound good? You guys ready for the final meditation tonight? Lovingly, within your head, to call in any protections or guidance that you like. Allowing your body to relax as you get more comfortable. The shoulders, the lower back to soften. Your breath naturally slowing. Closing your eyes. Releasing tensions, heaviness, any stories from the day. Letting go all of what we talked about. Now imagine yourself and all of your life, you're symbolically existing within a glass cube. This cube form has been with you for as long as you can remember. It's formed from your experiences, your lessons, your efforts to manage your life and your relations. Over time, layers of film have built up upon the surface of the cube, making it harder to see clearly into all that you experience. As you try to look outward beyond this cube, everything seems foggy, as though shrouded in mist. These layers of film have served a purpose. They've built up to keep you safe. They've allowed you to maneuver and interpret life so you don't have to deal with too many surprises. Honor these accumulations for their service. But now also recognize that these are not truly you. Feel deeply within your heart the understanding that the past is not your identity. It is simply a collection of experiences, lessons that can now be integrated and released. Sitting within this cube, breathe deeply into your chest, and with each inhale, inwardly say, I welcome forgiveness. And with each exhale, I release the weight of the past. Feel your heart expanding, filling with pure forgiveness for yourself, for others, for all that has been. Notice how this forgiveness brings a quiet peace. A calmness that ripples through you like still waters after a storm. From this place of forgiveness and peace, you can sense the spark of love within. And this love is the key that unlocks your co-creative ability. Feel this love like a radiant flame within your heart, steady and empowering. And with it comes ease, assurance, and the freedom to begin anew. Now imagine yourself standing within your cube, walking to one of the walls of glass. With intention, lift your hand and begin to wipe the glass clean. As you wipe away each layer, clarity emerges. The dense fogs outside begin to clear. With each wipe, more light filters through. The outer realms of your soul's true home begin to appear. You see landscapes of beauty, expanses of possibilities, shimmering fields of light that remind you of your infinite nature. Further beyond, in the vast expanse, you see a radiant star brightly glowing. This star represents infinite spiritual potential, the eternal light from which all possibilities flow. From there, a gentle beam of light extends towards your cube, surrounding you in a loving embrace. This light carries with it the subtle probabilities of new paths, experiences, and gifts that your soul is preparing for you. All is held with love, awaiting your readiness, your willingness, your pure intent. Allow yourself to rest in this light. Feel how, with the pure faith and loving service, you're able to guide what flows towards you. Your intentions, born of love, shape the symbolic journey that unfolds ahead. Take a few minutes now in silence, and in this stillness, see what images feelings, or gentle whispers of guidance appear to you, trust what arises. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, drawing the star's light into your heart one more time. And as you exhale, feel it radiating out into your life, into your circle of influence. Know that your cube is now clear, that you are free to see, to feel, to choose, free to co-create with love and faith. Attuning yourself on your path to your keynote. Bringing it into harmony with your communities. Letting go of all the other noise. And then slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Doing the same thing, but the inverse of the other world, of the sleep world. You're going to come back and let your body be relaxed, but now your mind is fully awake. Fully conscious in this moment. See the differences, the subtleties, who's in charge of who. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, feeling the ground beneath you. And when you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this clarity and love and empowerment forward with you into the week ahead. We have about 20 minutes left to open up the circle one more time to you guys. I think we'll pass the stick around. Start to close out the energies for the night, sending out the loving light one more time. Not just for the love and support of humanity, but also as a calling to the collective of souls in the hierarchy and beyond. Just one thing I want to say before I close out the circle. It's important that the idea is you do the work on the inside and then you be it in your circle of influence, whatever that is. Do you see? So it can be tough because you could be someone like Vika who just come back from doing some great service on the front line, so to speak, and then you can come back and feel a little lost. That is part of the illusion. There is no disconnection. The idea is to be able to find and be your loving self in all environments. Not just the ones you like or agree with, that you consider good or bad, important, not important. It's in all environments. You see? That's when you're really starting to get it, when we get it. When you can be the same way with a stranger as you can with your boss, as you can with your employees, as you can with someone you don't like, whatever it is, you still emanate your true essence. That is part of the essentials. So pulling the light back into your heart, allowing yourself to be fully pure and clear, sealing off the altar within your heart for only your loving light. That is your sacred space from which you emanate. I want to thank all of you for being here this evening, for helping to build this light, for being a part of our community, for choosing to show up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Feel free to stay and hang around the fire as long as you want, as long as you're not too noisy. If not, God bless, drive home safely, and that's it.
Thank you, Phil.